Yeah.
But I probably would say that
I'm out of this world. I'm so far gone.
Like towards the beginning of summer, so towards the end of summer, I had a track day. But this track day, it had like other Camaros out there. Even saw ZL1, the GT 350R out there, GT 500 out there. It had a bunch of Corvettes and a Lotus, a couple M3s out there. And the group I was in, some of those cars was in the same group I was in, because I had the opportunity to be able to run solo in the yellow group. Man, it was just amazing how, because one session I think I set out once. Yeah, I ran one sessions, I ran half, and then I just set out because I was just exhausted. It was hot that day, and I felt like I shouldn't have ran because I didn't have any good sleep that night prior anyway. I was exhausted, so I set out. I ran half of that session and set out the rest, and I just walked out to the barrier and just watched, and then just the sounds of the cars, and I'm just like, wow, they just sound amazing. And then some of the Z06s and Z01s with the Superchargers already on it, I'm like, man, they sound so good, and they just seem so fast. And then out there on the track, it was like I was getting passed a lot. A few I was able to hang, even though I got past a few of them, I was still able to hang behind them. But it just once we hit that straightaway, we hit that straightaway.
Say again?
We hit that straightaway.
What's that?
We hit that straightaway.
Say again?
Straightaway.
You look like I'm left on bad and bougie.
Straightaway. Man, they just take off, zoom. And that was the moment I was like, man, I might have to get a Supercharger. But yeah, but then it was later that Christmas. I treated myself by buying myself a Christmas present, and it was a Supercharger. And ever since I made that decision, I love it. I love it. And then months later, recently, I did some, well, when I got the Supercharger, I also did upgraded fuel system to the LT4 fuel. I did it mainly because, just researching other people's builds that's posted on the Camaro forums and on YouTube. See some guys making 600, and I was like, that's what I wanted. I wanted a 600, but I wanted to be able to make 600 with, well, only just the Supercharger and with the fueling system. And I felt like with the fueling system and just the Supercharger, I'll make 600. And sure enough, I did. I made 614 rear wheel horsepower and 626 rear wheel torque, and I loved it. I loved it. But most recently, I did do some more supporting mods. I ended up going back to the shop that did all my work. I just got talked into getting the headers. So I ended up getting the 2-inch Steelworks headers added on with a rotofab. Only thing, I don't want to say disappointed, but I was hoping that, okay, those supporting mods, I just felt like the money I was spending, I better gain at least 15 extra horsepower at least, at minimum. That's just why I hope, just because of the amount of money I was spending. But I didn't get that, which maybe kind of sad, but I don't want to say disappointed. But at the same time, I know with the dynoing and tuning and all that was done while it's like super hot and humidity is just real high. So it's like numbers not going to look good anyway on dyno. But with those added on, well, I got close to 15, because my peak horsepower I hit was 628 rear wheel horsepower, and then without those that was off the first pull. And when they did two more back to back, I ended up at like 622 averaging. Yeah, so I was just hoping to be able to consistently stay, even with the heat, to be able. But I guess might have to just look into a cooling system, which I honestly don't want to add an expansion tank, but I don't know, something I got to think about, because I don't feel like I need that for the track, because when I just had the Supercharger by itself, I was fine. I never had overheating issues or nothing, even with the oil temps. The car came with the oil cooler, with all the cooling and stuff added on, like the oil cooler, trans cooler, all that. So oil temps, I think the highest I hit was 210 on the track. That's what the supercharger added on. Before the supercharger, I think like 200 was the highest I ever hit. And with the supercharger added on, just extra 10 degrees. But for everything else, it was still fine. The AITs and all that, of course, dropped. So they stayed. Well, I don't want to compare that because that wasn't. Because when I went to the track with the supercharger, that was earlier this year. That was beginning of spring. It wasn't that hot. So AIT stayed in the 80s. Fell a little below that a couple times while going around the track. I strongly believe if I was to go to the track on a hot 90-degree day or even 100-degree day, I truly believe that the AIT would just be the same as it wouldn't be higher than 110. Yeah, but with the current build, I am happy with it. For all the money I spent, it averaged out to a little over 18,000. So in hindsight, looking at it, it's like, well, dang, I could have just bought a Z01 from the get-go. But if you just account only for the supercharger slap on, supercharger and install, that was 10 grand. So that makes the car 56,000, you could say, total I paid for it versus 63 for the ZL1. For the cheapest, I probably could have got a ZL1, 63. But granted, the difference there though is if I just did the supercharger by itself, yeah, it would have been just 10 grand total. 7 for the supercharger and then like 28 and some change for the install. And that still included other parts though, like manifold and lifters and all that, whatever. Yeah, so just add that in for the cost of the car, 46 some change, 50, just say 57, round off. And then still the ZL1 I could have bought, well, let's say at that dealership, could have, well, yeah, let's just say 63, that's cheap as I did come across it. They probably would try to price match if I was just like, yeah, I'll buy it, but I go here, get it, whatever. So that's, what's the math there? Like 6,000 less. And the power, not that much, I think what, to the wheel, the ZL1 is like 550-ish to the wheel. And then with my SS, even with the Whipple slapped on, just by itself, it'd be about the same. Well, it'd be a little bit more. It could be pushed up to 585. And it's like, yeah, I could have just went with the ZL1. But you add on all the stuff I did to it, fuel filters, I mean the fuel system, since I did that with the supercharger, that was an extra 1,200 parts and labor about 1,000. So it came out about 13. So now you add that to the price of the car. Now it's 59,000. Just round it off, say 60,000. So now I'm 3,000 different. And doing all of that versus getting the ZL1, the only benefit would have been a $3,000 more. I could have kept factory warranty, but I come out with 50 more horsepower though. For all the money I spent, could have just got a ZL1. It would have been more just for me having the looks of it and the badge, I guess. Me going the aftermarket way, I'm fine with it. But now, yeah, if I had just got a 1SS, no extra options, yeah, it would have came out a little cheaper that way. Cause that would have been what, about 37,000, something like that, brand new. Bad, I guess to each his own. But like I said, I don't regret it. But if I had to go back and redo it all, I believe I still would end up spending probably not 18 grand, but probably half, because I probably would get the ZL1 only because now I know, since I know more about the engines and all, because I never knew what the difference was between the LT1 and the LT4. I had to do it over. I'll probably go back, get ZL1, but I'll still probably just spend half the money I spent on the SS because I would still change out that LT for a supercharger to come with it. Only because now knowing about it that, you know, it's smaller, it has less weight or whatever, but smaller, it spins faster. Charger I have is the Whipple. Yeah, I would have switched up to the Whipple and added on a cold air intake. And I would have, yeah, and I still would have did headers with high cat flows, just because I probably would have, I don't think I would have tried to push that much boost through it, but yeah, well, if I still did headers, no, I still end up spending the same. Well, I'm tripping. I still be spending almost the same amount, but I'll have at least 100 more horsepower pushing out if I went that route, since I wouldn't have to worry about piston upgrades, none of that stuff, which I might end up doing in the future. Not near future, but late future. But I don't know, we'll see. I feel like I can reliably keep the car pushing at 650 to the wheel, which I did research, read that the LT1 can push up to that reliably. I read some places where it could do up to 700, but I'm fine with just 650 to the wheel. Yeah, I'll be happy just to be able to hang with the stock Hellcat. Or that's just the goal. Be able to do that on the street. While my car just look like a plain Jane SS, but nobody knows. Alright, I'll check y'all again next time. Thanks for checking me out. If you can, just subscribe and hit that like button. I'll try to continue with content. Peace.
Hardest they'll come, Primo gon' kill 'em. $1 million flow, truth gon' spit 'em. As real as they're made, guess we overpaid, cause we're blowing money like we live.
I'm as real as it gets, homie. Believe that. Come at me talking to yin yang. I have you leaning back. I'm far from the average. I'm considered as a monster with skills I possess. I'm a G like a mobster. Awesome crest of this here isn't easy.